giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
Good morning, good people. Happy Friday and welcome to another edition of A to Z Sports Live, presented by the Cochran Firm and Boston Scientific. And of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still, boom! It's Friday, baby. It's Friday. More NFC East news. We'll talk about that in the roundup. But I want to talk about a potential youth movement that we might see on Sunday, just on Sunday, but an opportunity to make it a youth movement moving forward. I got 3 young guys that have a major opportunity this weekend to stake their claim as the future of being part of this defense. Then on the NFC East, we got more movement. This time they're sending people away. Really weird. It's all right, though. And, of course, I'm going to update you guys on the injury front for Thursday's injury report, which kind of opens up this said opportunity for some of these young players. If you want to call in, you can. 351-999-3787 is a call-in line. If you can't see it right there, you can see it scrolling here on the DFW Turf Ticker, the #1 artificial turf in the DFW area. What's good, Cowboys Nation? It's Friday, man. God love Fridays. You know, some people getting paid. Appreciate you. You know, out there working hard, or it's just a weekend. What y'all doing this weekend? We'll talk about it later. Somebody said my screen is black. Y'all good? Thumbs up if everybody's good in the chat. I know some people's phones are different, or computers, or TVs, or whatever. Thumbs up if everything is good to go. If not, we'll try to fix it out. Fix it here and work things out. But what's up with y'all? Swain, Joey, Ricky, Jameson, L, Lemitra, R3R. What's up? Peter Rizzo. We got Gregory in the building. J.A., you're not that guy. Cole Jelly, a.k.a. C.J. Richards, Scotty Laxton, J.A. Jameson Taylor, Mr. Jab, Peasy, Iceberg Q with the boom, Captain America, How Does It Serve, Park Street Life, DWTT, Joey Vila, Robert, Matt Goddix, I see ya, House Nelson, Stephen White, Professor O in the building. Professor O, why we keep playing? We need to get the Professor O's obscured stats back going. We playing around this year, man. What we doing here? Adam Mack, my bro Rory in the building. I know Lee somewhere around here. He always coming through. Appreciate my 717 fam. Alpha Mason, and then many more coming through. We good? Let me scroll back down. Like to start the show off, and this is an issue. We straight. All right, we straight. Cool. Did y'all watch that game last night? I watched a little bit of the game. I didn't watch the whole entire game. I woke up, was a little bit surprised, but you know, I keep saying this just feels like the opportunity in the NFC this year. We ain't got to go through no Brady. Ain't got to go through no Aaron Rodgers. I take my chances going through a Jalen Hurts. No disrespect to the Eagles or anything like that, but I'm just saying, man, just feels like this is the moment. This is an opportunity to do something here, Cowboys Nation. But we're going to talk about opportunities for players before we get into all of that. My guy, Mr. Right, Antoine Myers, dropped a donation in the super chat here. If I can find my button.
Super chat.
Says, where's Voch? Tell him I'm coming today. What happened yesterday? Did something happen? Did I miss something, Twan? I must have missed something, man. But it's cool. You here. We'll talk about it. All right. Let's hit this roundup. Let's come out of this. Dan Quinn actually talked the other day. He said something that matters in today's, meat and potatoes of the show. So we'll play that coming out of the roundup. But also, Dak said something in the roundup that I want to talk about as well. So good stuff today. A lot of good news, or a lot of good info to talk about, and we got some film we'll watch a little bit later too.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time. It's Time?
It is time for
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Hey, yo. Or should I say, hey, NFC East. Monkey see, monkey do. First, the Cowboys trade for Jonathan Hankins. And the Eagles say, oh, no. We got to make a move, too. Then the Eagles trade for Robert Quinn. And now the Giants trade away Kadarius Toney to the Chiefs. And Toney, a guy who's been off injured but is a freak athlete, right? Often you hear the term joystick athlete because that's what he is. But he's been hurt. But he came out on Twitter and said, oh, I ain't hurt. He said he's good to go. Again, as a football fan, I kind of want to see this, man. Pat Mahomes gets another joystick type of dude. He lost Tyreek Hill. Here's the crazy thing. Loses Tyreek Hill, and they're still the number one offense. But when you look at what the organization did, yeah, we lost Tyreek Hill, but they paid for MVS. They paid for Juju, right? They still went and attacked that position, drafted a guy in the top 2 rounds or whatever it was, and now they're making a trade for Kadarius Toney. They're never satisfied. They're always trying to evaluate and get better, and they got a joystick guy. Now, will he play a lot? Well, we'll see. He's been a dinged up dude. But sometimes a change of scenery helps. Sometimes you get to an organization that is a bit more structured and an organization that can utilize your skills better. Jason Garrett, what are we doing? And Kadarius Toney wasn't Brian Daboll's guy, and it was clear as day. And it wasn't like he helped himself. Apparently he was dealing with some stuff too. But maybe he gets over there with Andy. Andy's a player's coach. He knows how to use players. Got Pat Mahomes as a quarterback, not Daniel Jones. I'm excited as a football fan to see this. I'm excited. Let's get to the injury report. I saw somebody in the chat I looked over and said it's still okay. I don't know, man. He limited two days in a row. Terrence Steele with the neck has been limited 2 days in a row. Limited doesn't mean trending down. We'll see what Friday's report comes out with. I'm just guessing here, flat out guessing. I think he'll play. But there's other guys that I don't think will play. Noah Brown now is back-to-back DNP. And honestly, when I put this show together, I could have included a wide receiver, but I didn't. But let's just talk about it for a quick second. Noah Brown, foot injury, DNP back-to-back. We're going into Friday, man. I guess being a 7-year vet, 6-year vet, he could play without practicing, especially because he's been around, been around Dak. He's been around this offense. But I don't know. Foot injury, 2 back-to-backs, DNPs. I feel like he won't play. We'll see what happens today. But if he doesn't, are we talking about Jalen Tolbert or are we talking about Kevontae Turpin? I mean, what are we talking about here? I hate to say, oh, this is the week, et cetera, et cetera. There's no week you want to be dealing with injuries. And this isn't a bad Bears defense. So you don't want to go out there and have to deal with chemistry issues from the receiver standpoint. But, Noah Brown does certain things for you that Kevontae Turpin is not going to be doing for you. So, and there is no Semi Fehoko. He's on IR. So it's definitely a Jalen Tolbert situation if Noah can't go. This will be interesting. Something to kind of watch early on in that game. Malik Hooker, another guy who did not practice in back-to-back days, hamstring. Again, veteran dude, been in the system for a few years. Maybe they're just like, hey, rest it up. We'll see what's up on Sunday. Game time decision type of thing. But when you go back-to-back and it's a hammy, I don't know. And against this offense, I think this is one of those weeks where you can sit them down. And, of course, Zeke didn't practice again. We don't expect Zeke to play. But the other 2 guys that popped up on the injury report, one I'm not too tripping about. Micah Parsons, limited with the shoulder injury. But then Sam Williams popped on it. Wasn't limited. It was did not practice with the knee. Huh. Don't like that. Our injury report is super long. You know, this bye week definitely needs to get here. So, you know, when people say they want, you know, pretty victories or they want BCS points, I say just get the damn win and get out of there healthy so we can get into this bye, correct some things, get healthy, get 2 weeks, and you go up to Lambeau and let's start the second half of the season. But this is a long, lengthy injury report, and I'm hoping today we get better news, you know, in regards to Terrence Steele, in regards to Micah Parsons, Sam Williams, things like that. I don't expect Malik to play. I don't expect Noah Brown to play, but that could change too. And obviously, I don't expect Zeke to play. Dak Prescott said something very, not really interesting, but I like this quote yesterday. I think it was yesterday he came out and said this, talking about the growth on defense. He says, and I quote, "Coming from 2020, yeah, that's not even close to comparison. One word that jumps into my head is trust. The trust they have in each other, the trust they have in their coach. You see it in their communication. You see it in their effort. You see it in the way they just fly around. And I see it anytime I go against them out there. To just be on the sideline and watch them give the other team headaches is fun. It's great to get the ball back with all the turnovers they create and make it tough on other defenses. I say it's important for us that we're rewarding those guys with the points." That was Dak yesterday, and a couple words that popped out to me from that was, one, trust, right? And him saying you see it in their effort. You see it in their communication. I guess he was asked about, you know, having to mentally shift from 2020 to now defensively, right? And we talked about that last week in his return. It does, as an offensive guy, not just Dak, but the play caller, the coach, the players, they felt like, hey, man, we got to go out here and get 30, 35 points. Our defense is one of the worst defenses in franchise history from that 2020 year. I think it's an unbelievable turnaround from that season, just 2 seasons ago, like a season and a half ago, really, to now, where you can say, hey, man, we go get 23 points this game. You'll get 21 points that's game. I can't remember the last time I felt that confident in the defense, and neither has these coaches, neither has Dak, as clearly as he said here. But that word trust, I think, will go a long way in how the Cowboys move forward offensively. Some people might say, I don't like how they're going to move forward offensively, but that is what they're planning on doing right now. I say ball control, but they haven't really controlled the ball. But ball control, run, don't turn the ball over, be efficient in the passing game, and let your defense go out there and just suffocate these dudes. And when they do give you the ball back, score. At this point, I mean, you're not really playing any of these high-powered offenses till later. So at this point, just score, right? And hopefully by the time you start getting your offense moving, you're scoring touchdowns. Because once you start scoring touchdowns and you get ahead of these guys, defense pins their errors back, and it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I truly do believe if the Cowboys offense ever gives this defense multiple score cushion, that's going to put fear in the opposing offense's mind, put pressure on them, and this defense would just eat. Already we got a caller. I'll get to you in a quick second here, caller, but let me get to the chat. Let me get to the chat. Yeah, Lemitra, it is a lengthy injury report. Don't like it. We got to get into this bye week, come out of this game healthy, and get into this bye week and recover. You know, another thing he talked about on there was effort. I didn't bring up. You know, we know Mr. 75%. He wasn't the only one. He just was the one that came out and said that. And the trust in the coaches and things like that. A couple years ago, we were talking to a couple different players, former players now of the Cowboys. They probably could come out and say this publicly. But when that report came out that, you know, there's a rift between coaches, a lot of people immediately went to Mike McCarthy. I'm like, man, it sounds like everybody is with Mike McCarthy. So you ask a couple players, they're like, no, man, we love Mike. And go listen to J-Ron. J-Ron Kurtz spoke a couple weeks ago and said he might be the best coach I ever had, and one of the best players type coaches. It was Mike Nolan, right? It was Mike Thompson, or it was Tom Sula. It was those guys. They weren't teaching. They were old school, too old school, game past them, et cetera, why you don't really see them around anymore. And that's where the divide was. That's where, because you had Tom Sula, Nolan guys, and then you had non-Tom Sula, Nolan guys, and it was very few of those in regards to Tom Sula guys. You don't see that anymore. Everybody is bought in to Dan Quinn. Everybody's bought into Aiden Dirty, Al Harris, Joe Witt Jr., et cetera, et cetera. These guys are all bought in, all playing for each other and for that coach. I feel like they don't want to let DQ down. And I feel like DQ has inserted a mentality into them where, and maybe they've done it themselves, where we gave up points, we gave up a touchdown. That's disrespectful. I hate it. Like you saw, see, people get mad at Trayvon Diggs a couple weeks ago when he took his helmet off and he was pissed. He had nothing to do with the play. But these dudes get legitimately sick when the team scores on them. And I love it, man. I absolutely love it. George Edwards, another one. Got to give George Edwards a shout out. Fantastic addition. He was on the team, I believe, during that time, but he wasn't part of Nolan. You know what I mean? He wasn't part of Nolan. All right, real quick. We'll take a call, man. We'll take a little call. Pulse of the Nation phone lines presented by the Cochran Firm. Make sure, I see it's raining out there in Dallas, man, and it's been windy this week. Make sure if you get involved in any type of accident, you know who to call. And I'm talking about my guys, Larry Pope and Brian Pope and Larry Taylor down at the Cochran Firm. Great guys, great firm. They'll help you out. They'll fight for you, and they've been serving this DFW area since 2005. Hit them up at 1-800-THE-FIRM or visit CochranTexas.com. You'll get a free consultation today. And if you do end up being a part of their clientele, they handle their civil cases on a contingent fee basis, meaning no financial recovery. They charge no fee. Hit them up, CochranTexas.com. 321, what up?
Hey, yo, what's up, bro? This Lamont.
What up, Mont? We got Lamont and Lamar, right?
Hey. Yep.
What's goody?
So I had a question. Who all is predicted to be out this game as far as defense wise?
I think you're going to have, I mean, I'm just guessing, right? This could change today. Malik Hooker will probably be out. Let me pull this back up for you, brother. I don't know about Sam Williams. Sam Williams just got on the injury report, so I wouldn't go as far as Sam. But Malik Hooker seems to be the biggest name. I think Micah's going to play. We don't know about Hankins. He just got here. So if it is Hankins, then probably Neville might not play or Los. So that depends on – it's not really an injury front. But just from an injury front, it sounds like Malik Hooker is the guy that might be out. Oh, and obviously Jordan Lewis.
So, excuse me. What I was going to say was this really isn't too bad of a big deal as Malik Hooker's out because Israel played really good in his spot when, J-Ron was out. The defense looked it looked pretty good too. So, since Izzy is interchangeable, I think that, we should be fine. And matter of fact, I think Izzy might see an interception come his way just because I feel like Fields will put the ball in a dangerous situation trying to overcompensate for his arm and his lack of true weapons that are, deep threats.
Stay tuned. Just stick around. I got you on some Izzy.
All right. That's all I wanted to say, man.
My man. That's a great segue. Let's just go on ahead and segue right into that. Listen to Dan Quinn here, guys, talk about not dealing with injuries, but getting these young guys involved early in this season so that they're ready later on. Because we talk about trust, right? And I think there's going to be an opportunity, not just defensively, but offensively, right? The Malik Davises of the world. But there's going to be an opportunity for some of these young guys to gain the trust of Dan Quinn and that coaching staff, whether it be because of an injury or whether it be because of the play of certain veterans. So I got 3 guys that I want to dive into that I think will have a chance to gain more trust now so that later they may be counted on. But listen to Dan Quinn talk just about said trust.
You probably heard me say in the beginning of the year with some of the younger players, there's some on-the-job training that goes along with playing in September and October that produce better Novembers, Decembers, and Januaries because you took the chance to work through some tough problems. But if you think they're not ready, don't put them in, they're not ready, don't put them in, they never quite develop. And so you have to put them in and you have to live with some problems early on. But my experience has been you do it, by the time you get to the later part of the season, they're not having those growing pains anymore. And so
I just kind of wish he would do that with the linebackers, but that's cool. That's fine. We don't got to talk about that. Let's talk about the guys that I think have a chance here to earn his trust. And some of them have been earning his trust. And Lamont called in and immediately talked about Israel Mukuamu. And that's a perfect segue here. Because Izzy has gotten an opportunity, right, this year already. And I think he's done well given his short stint or his part-time stint filling in for Jaron Kearse. And he's been doing a lot more box things when Kearse was out the first 3 weeks. So, or from weeks 2 to 4. So when Jaron went out, Israel Mukuamu for 3 weeks was kind of that third guy. And he played well. He had 7 tackles. He had 3 stops. And he only averaged 25 snaps per game. But given how many snaps he was getting, which was a part-time basis, I thought he played well. I thought you saw him move well. I thought we all know he's more physical than he's been in previous years. Previous year, I should say, his rookie year. Well, that was one of the things we kind of got on him about was, hey, man, this is kind of a lanky corner. But his mentality changed coming into year 2. He's a physical guy that can do some of those box things that Malik Hooker was doing. Had Mukuamu not gotten better in the offseason, didn't show you anything when he was out there with J-Rock, I might have been inclined to say move Dono over there. But I'm comfortable with Izzy. I don't know if Dan is going to do it, but I hope he does. I hope Israel Mukuamu is the guy to play on the roof when or if Malik Hooker is not out there. We know he has the coverage skills. He was a cornerback. We saw him in the preseason do some good things. We saw him get some interceptions, react. We saw him in training camp get some interceptions. Cowboys Nation, would like to see Israel Mukuamu get that shot. And there's going to be an underlining theme coming out of these young guys here. And we'll get to Deron Bland and Kelvin Joseph. And that theme will be, playing against Aaron Rodgers. So I'm okay. We're not saying Aaron Rodgers, I'm saying because he's the next guy. But you're playing against Justin Fields. I'm okay letting the young guy kind of get that opportunity to be a full-time. That's a difference. A full-time roof guy. Now, since he'll be a full-time guy, we're talking about like 50 snaps, 55 snaps or more. Now we have to see, can he remain disciplined to play that roof? Because he's been more of a box guy. He is a free safety, but he's been doing more of that box stuff. But can he remain disciplined? We've even seen Hooker sometimes bite on something. Not as much as KZ, but a veteran gets tricked sometimes. So if he's going to play back there on the roof, I just need him to be consistently doing his job. Doesn't have to play hero ball. That's kind of the one thing you got to kind of guard yourself against as a young dude. I got to go make a play. Well, sometimes the play that you have to make is just to be 20 yards back and take out that opportunity for Justin Fields to go to Darnell Mooney. Then once you get the tape and you get in on Tuesdays or Mondays, whenever they review the tape, Dan Quinn will say, great play. You didn't play hero ball. So let me ask y'all, Izzy, Dono, or somebody else? Who do you guys feel comfortable with back there? This week, I think Israel Mukuamu earned his shot to at least show that he can handle it on a full-time basis if he needs to. So I got Izzy. I'm cool with that. Swain says, what's up with Bell? Bell may get called up here and play some special teams if Malik Hooker is out. Peter is down with Izzy. James says, good point. Oh, Twan, we going to get to KJ, man. Because that, honestly, we'll get to him. I got you. I want Dono to spy. See, that's another point, right? Like, if you put Dono at the roof, then who's quote-unquote spying? And Dono's the perfect spy. And if you go back and look at the Eagles game, he really didn't have any opportunities to spy. The Eagles was like, oh, I don't need to run with Jalen Hurts. These boys are going to run with Justin Fields, y'all. Like, I think it's back-to-back weeks now. He's been running a little bit more than he has. And I'm just hoping that they don't – I say hoping as if I'm scared of this Bears offense. I'm not. But I'm hoping that they aren't finding a groove. And now it's like, hey, we're going to feature Justin Fields 15 runs a game because it's an annoying offense to deal with. But that's how you cause fumbles, though. Justin, you want to run? Cool. You ain't this big old dude either. I ain't saying he's small, but okay. Micah Parsons hit you a few times. We'll see what happens. If you drop that ball a few times, he dropped the ball 5 times against the Patriots, and they didn't recover one of them. All right. Let's see if you get that lucky. Some people don't care who they put back there. Put J-Rock as a spy. Ooh, I'm about that. J-Rock as a spy, let Donald cover the tight end. Now, J-Rock did not have the greatest game in coverage last week. That's fair. And I think Dono is very underrated from a coverage standpoint. I've been saying this for 2 years. I think he has I think he could be a good cover guy. But I don't know that I trust J-Ron's twitchiness against a Fields if I have to see him in an open field, or if I have to see him, come down from an angle. That's not a knock on him. I mean, this dude, Justin Fields, is a different animal when it comes to speed. Whereas I kind of trust the explosiveness of Dono a little bit more, if that makes sense. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's go back to the other guy that I am very confident in. And that's Deron Bland. He's another guy that has an opportunity, not just this game, but for the rest of the season. I think he's the next man up when it comes to that slot position. Clearly he was earlier in the season. He got thrown into the fire already. Y'all remember that? Against the Washington football people. And it wasn't a great game. It wasn't the cleanest of games, but he finished strong, right? And he finished it with a bang with that interception right there. First one of his career. But what I've learned about the very minimal snaps I've seen from Deron Bland is that if he does give up a play or has some down moments, it feels like he adjusts pretty quickly. And as a corner, you got to get the bad plays out of your head, right? But if you go back to the Washington game where he played over 50 snaps, about 59 snaps, close to 60, obviously, you saw some things, right, from Deron Bland where it's like, okay, he's a rookie. You completely understand that maybe he needs to, play a little bit more so he can understand his assignment. But you just can't ignore the physical skills that you see here, right? Like, you can't ignore it. As that game went on, as the preseason went on, as some of these other preseason games went on, you see him get more comfortable. And now he's going to have a full week to prepare. Remember, y'all, they went out to warm up pregame, an hour and a half before the game. Hey, young buck, you up next. Jordan Lewis can't play. That's a different mentality. It's totally different when not only am I the starter for the week, right? Like, I'm probably going to be the starter for the week. I'm potentially the starter for the year. So I'm really excited to see what Deron Bland can do with these opportunities, knowing that he's the guy for this week, potentially for the season. And again, that theme, y'all, it's a perfect opportunity. He's going against Justin Fields. He's going against a wide receiving core that isn't great. Now, I told y'all before, Darnell Mooney is the guy. He's the one guy that you have to worry about out there. Really good route runner, fast dude. But this is a great opportunity for Duran. And another theme that I'm going to bring up with these next two guys in Bland and Kelvin Joseph is the physicality. When you're playing against a quarterback that's going to run, that's going to attack the edges, a team that's going to run a lot, you got to be physical in the run game. You got to be physical in the support. Not saying that J. Lou isn't, but, I mean, I personally think that Deron Bland is just a more heavier hitter, right? A more physical guy. And it is what it is. He's bigger than J. Lou, and he plays that way. So I think this is a great opportunity for Deron Bland to just take the slot position, right? Like, they drafted him in the 5th round to develop him. Maybe they didn't think he'd be ready right now, but now he has the opportunity to take it. And I do say take it because J. Lou has another year, and maybe they keep J. Lou around. They like J. Lou in the locker room. He is a leader in that locker room. He's not a terrible player or anything like that. But Stephen Jones, let me get this button back, got a chance to save $5 million. And if Deron Bland takes this opportunity, and grabs it, and he takes advantage of it, and he is the guy moving forward, I don't know how you give it back to Jordan Lewis next year. So probably Deron Bland, this is probably, of these three dudes, the guy who has the greatest chance here to be that guy, that dude moving forward for the rest of the season. Greg said Bland should be starting, period. Suge said, I can't wait to see what Bland can do. Bland time. I'm really excited about Bland, man. Really, really excited about that. I'm excited about all these young guys, but I want to see it. Lance said Bland won't lose that spot. Well, listen, Damone Clark, because five footer said Damone Clark won't need 3 safeties. Let me give you a clue, bud. That's the one guy I'm kind of letting everything go. I'm just letting it. I'm not being objective, nothing. I'm being honest with y'all. I don't give a damn. I want to see Damone Clark. I don't care if he's young and he might. I don't care. Let him make his mistakes at 110%. That's the one spot I feel like if we get an uptick at, boy, oh boy. Let's get back to these lines, man. We got Deshaun on the horn. What's good, Deshaun?
I guess that's this guy. Yeah, I agree with you. I'd rather Clark be in the game so he get 110%. Because go look at Sam Williams when he first came in and starting, he messed up, but he did it at 100. And once you get acclimated, once you get the rhythm and feel of the game, then you get better as the game goes. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to see Bland. I want physicality because our corners are not as physical as you want them to be. Diggs make tackles if he needs to, and Brown will make tackles occasionally. But Bland, he'll hit the hell out of you, which is something I want to see.
Yeah. Again, I don't want to jump the gun here. I got one more person to get through, but I just feel like, between Bland and Kelvin Joseph, and then you already got the physicality back there with the safeties, they kind of complete the identity of your defense. Not everybody is going to be the same mentality, but I feel like Bland and KJ have the potential to add on to what this mentality is, which is a physical, nasty, aggressive defense.
And that's what I feel like you need, especially going into later on into the season, especially in that December time. That's when it gets cold. That's when teams going to want to run the ball. The teams ain't going to want to throw as much as you want. And so you need to make them good sound tackles. I feel like what I don't like is, guys, I don't like that a player has to get hurt or a player has to be injured for the young guys to come in. I feel like if you're underperforming or you're not doing your job like you're supposed to, then I feel like you need to get pulled out and let somebody else come in and play your position. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I'm still figuring that out with Dan Quinn, because how much evidence do we have that is the case, right? It's only been a year and a half, because think about it. Last year, he did bench Jordan Lewis. and he did put Kelvin Joseph in. You know, he did do that. And then you're talking about a defense that's giving up 14 points per game. It's in top 5 in pass defense. It's kind of hard to be like, yo, we gonna pull you, Jordan Lewis. I mean, Jordan Lewis hasn't been playing bad, right? Now, did Jordan Lewis have a bad moment or two against the Eagles? Sure. As is a perfect player, no. So it's like I think it's hard to just and he's a leader. He's a locker room guy. He's a leader in that room. And if you're not extremely bad, how do you go to your guys and say, I'm pulling you for this young dude, right? So I can see where it's tough. For as fans, we want to see the grass is greener. We want to see Deron playing, right? We want to see Kelvin Joseph. We want to see Damone Clark and all these guys. But if you put your coaching hat on and you look at this, you're probably like, 14 points per game. We're not giving up a lot of passing yards. I don't want to pull my leader, my guy who hasn't played bad. So I get it for DQ. It's not as easy as it is for us. We don't give a damn about that stuff. We're not in that locker room, and we don't know the assignments.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. I feel like LVE and the linebacker court is going to cost us a
that's
game
a different.
in the future.
That's a different situation right there. Yeah, I told you, I'm not being objective. Throw Damone Clark in that mug. But no, to be objective, right? To be fair, I think it's more of I trust those two than I trust Jabril Cox and Devin Harper. But Damone Clark might be a different story.
Okay, then. Nice talking to you guys.
All right, man. Yeah, I think it's more of a trust thing with Anthony Barr and LVE. And maybe they don't trust Devin Harper to come in here and do what potentially Damone Clark can do. But let's get to the last guy on the list here, man. That's Kelvin Joseph. I can't just gloss over what he said earlier in the week. Kelvin Joseph is going to play this week, y'all. On defense, I'm talking about. And I didn't even notice he said what he said. I was more so thinking this would be a good week to get Kelvin Joseph involved because of the team you're playing, right? Once again, the theme, you're not worried about passing, number one. Number two, you're more worried about tackling. And before we get into that, let's give a helmet pat to Kelvin Joseph, y'all. Okay? The adversity that he had to deal with, whether his own doing or not, it is what it is. Oh, no. It is what it is. He dealt with some adversity. And he came out and he started killing it on special teams. Like, he could have just withered away. He could have sulked in his adversity. But no, he said, okay, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to play my hardest. And I'm going to stand out on special teams. And I think that might be the reason why Kelvin Joseph gets an opportunity at cornerback. Because of how he played on special teams, gaining that trust on special teams. And before I saw him say this is quote, this is Kelvin Joseph. I get this ish. I ain't looking back. He playing this week. He's going to get some snaps. Whether that be because AB's moving into the slot or he just flat out getting AB's spot to get a chance, he's playing, and he should. And let me tell you why. No one's scared of these boys throwing the ball. I don't care about Justin Fields throwing the ball. But they're going to do a lot of screens. They're going to do a lot of running to the edges. They're going to get Justin Fields out on the edges. And Anthony Brown has been atrocious tackling. Oh, I mean, atrocious over the last 3 weeks. And if you go look at the schedule, not many teams you're going to be running up against that air the ball out at a quality rate. Maybe 2, 3 tops. A lot of these teams are going to want to run the ball at you. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it's Anthony Brown is in his head or whatnot. But he's been terrible. Over the last 3 weeks, he's missed 6 tackles. And he's got 3 games this year where he's missed multiple tackles. You know who likes to get physical? You know who likes to tackle? Kelvin Joseph. And last year we saw Kelvin Joseph get a chance. I just said I think it was to Deshaun on the horn. I don't know, if it was, I don't know what the call was. I don't think anybody's ever told us, but they decided to bench Jordan Lewis last year and give Kelvin Joseph a shot and move Anthony Brown in the slot. And Kelvin Joseph played in 2 meaningful games. The other one was the Eagles game. It really didn't matter. But he played in 2 meaningful games. One of them, which was a shocker to me, was the Cardinals game. Jordan Lewis was healthy. They decided to go with Kelvin. And I think he showed you in some of these games the potential that he has as a cover guy. Right? We know he's physical. You can see it in his game. He wants to be physical. That doesn't mean he's always perfect being physical, but he wants to be physical. And if the call is going to be, if the game plan is going to be, hey, we're going to play off coverage. We're going to play 7 yards. We're going to give the underneath stuff. Well, what you then can't do is miss the tackles. And that's what AB's been doing. Yeah, I know the off coverage drives me crazy, but and I don't put that on him. I put that on the call. But what I do put on him is you can't miss the tackle. 6 of them. And they lead to first downs. Hasn't led to a ton of points besides the Eagles game, but they lead to first downs. So this is a perfect game, keeping that theme to see, okay, let's see what Kelvin Joseph has out there on the edges. Out there on the boundary, I'm sorry. Let's see what he can bring. Let's see if we can get some good tape for Kelvin Joseph, for DaRon Bland. And then get into the bye week, right? Because then once you get into the bye week, once you get into the bye week, and Dan Quinn can look at the tape and George Edwards, linebacker coach, Al Harris, the whole staff, right? You say, okay, this is what we want to do. We're going to make that decision. We're going to roll with Kelvin Joseph moving forward. Or we're going to roll with DaRon Bland moving forward. Now you can start preparing your defense to fit their skill sets a little bit differently. And you got 2 weeks to do it, as opposed to 1 week preparing for a team. Aaron Rodgers at that. Like, I know he ain't got his guys. This ain't the same Packers, but you don't want to get a lot of these green guys going up against A-Rod in general. But nonetheless, get these quality reps for these young guys. Israel Mukuamu, DaRon Bland, Kelvin Joseph. Get some positive momentum heading into the bye week. And let's see if you can add more juice to this defense. Because I think that's what a Bland or a Kelvin Joseph can give you. And the reason why I'm leaving out Israel Mukuamu, nothing against Israel Mukuamu, but Malik Hooker he's going to come back. But J. Lou's not. Bland is going to be your guy in the slot. Kelvin Joseph has an opportunity to take the position. You heard what he said. If I get this, I ain't looking back, period. Now, there is a wild card, Cowboys Nation. There is a wild card. And it's Nashawn Wright. Or Nashawn Wright. Quinn did mention that Wright, would be active and potentially involved. So I don't want to completely dismiss Nashawn Wright. It's not fair. But so what you may see this week, just guessing, you may see Kelvin Joseph get some snaps out wide, and you may see Nashawn Wright get some snaps out wide. I'm telling you, man, I just got this feeling that Kelvin Joseph he may start. I might be going out on a limb. I just feel like they went into that meeting room and they all decided, okay, J. Lou's out. Obviously, we're going to roll with DaRon. Because you're not putting Kelvin Joseph in the slot. He didn't play in the slot last year. You're not putting Nashawn Wright in the slot. He didn't play in the slot last year. And I know Dan Quinn said, yeah, we're going to use multiple guys to fill in for J. Lou. I think the multiple guys is DaRon Bland and Jordan Lewis. I'm sorry, DaRon Bland and Anthony Brown. I don't think it's anybody else. So if they're going to do some things with AB and DaRon Bland, somebody got to play outside. Kelvin Joseph, Nashawn Wright. May the best man win. I think it's just a rap lyric for you do? I don't think so. I think Kelvin Joseph is going to be playing this week, man. I do. Let's get 908 on the horn. What's goody?
Hey, what's good?
What's up,
Yo.
man? Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, all right, nah, it was maybe it's on my end. My bad. This King Cowboy repping Jersey, man. I be calling it the VOT show. You might have heard me
Oh,
before.
I hear you all the time calling the VOT show. What's up with you?
Ain't shit, same shit, different day. Northeast
Yeah.
repping. The whole Kelvin Joseph thing, I think all of Cowboy Nation a little scary on that side to see him out there. What we seen ain't really what we want. It is what it is. We'll see if that happens. Get to my quick points real quick, let you go. I was listening to .com yesterday. And, one of the guys came out one of a good point. Well, a point that I wanted to ask you about as far as our receivers and about Turpin specifically. Now, how much staying you think Bones Fossil got as far as say so with like players?
And in what regard? Because as a special teams coach, you only are, you play the cards you're dealt, right? Like you can't really do too much except for on game day we can say we're gonna go for it or we're gonna fake it or something like that. But as a special teams coach, you kind of just have to, hey, who's out? Okay, all right, who you filling in? Okay, give me this guy, let's roll. So what do you mean? How much say so? Like as like free agents or drafting?
Yeah,
or?
nah. Yep. I had to ask this. They had brought up like maybe Bones Fossil saying like, "Yo, Turpin is all I have. I don't have no other returners. We don't want to put CeeDee Lamb back there. We don't want to put Trayvon back there. He maybe didn't say it like, I don't want him playing that much offense, but maybe that's the vibe he's giving off. Maybe that's the reason why he's not getting that much offense. Like, listen, this is all I got. Y'all take him away from me?
Nah.
I have nobody else
No way,
these
bro.
kicks.
No way. There's not a chance.
No way?
No way. There's not a chance. If you have a guy who could potentially, if the offensive coordinator, offensive head coach, whatever, said, hey, I think this guy can do X, Y, Z offensively and make our offense better. And the special teams coach says, no, because he's my only return guy, that the offensive head coach or offensive coordinator is going to acquiesce and be like, oh, you're right. I will progressively make my offense worse so you can have your special teams guy who's going to get maybe one opportunity a game. Nah, no way.
I would just push back and say Bones ain't just a special teams guy. He's the best in the
I don't care if
business
it was
type of guy.
Jesus Christ. Like, offense is way more important than the one or two returns you're potentially going to get. Think about this for a second. I love Kevontae Turpin and what he's brung. He hasn't scored a touchdown yet. So it's not like he's out here giving you all these points. And this is no disrespect to him. It's just your situation you're bringing to me. If I was one of these creative offense coordinators that found a way to get him involved offensively, I'm getting him involved offensively because now he's going to get 5 to 6 opportunities, 7 opportunities, whatever, not 1 or 2. So I don't think Bones or any other special teams coordinator has the gusto to tell an offensive coach or a head coach that, nope, you can't have him offensively to help your ailing offense because I want him on special teams. You know what I mean?
Nah, definitely feel you. Like I said, I heard it on .com. It was a funny point to me, but it maybe, because I know how Bones is, he one of them guys that could maybe have some say-so. He might have not said it like, oh, I don't want him playing offense, but he might be like, well, Turpin that's all I have.
Let me guess. Was it Nick Eatman? Or Mickey Spagnuolo? Whatever.
Nah, it definitely wasn't Mickey. Was it? It was either Nick or Nate. One of them. Nah, not. It wasn't
It
Nate.
wasn't no Nate.
Maybe.
That sounds like a Nick Eatman thing. But anyway, go ahead.
Last point. I'm gonna let you go. Listen, at this point, I hate to be reactive because your whole thing, and I'm with you, is I want the Cowboys to be proactive. At this point, I see what everybody doing in the NFC. Listen, everybody going for it, and shit, we right up there with them. I'm willing to give up any pick 1 through 7 to get a player. Depending on who the player is, I think I give up a 1, a 2, a 3. I don't care. How you feel about that? Let me know any trade targets you've been hearing besides the stuff that we all been hearing. What you willing to give up to get like a DeAndre Hopkins? I know contract big or whoever, whatever name you want to put out there. I'm willing to give it for 1. That's just me personally. I give it for 1 if I have to, because this year I feel like it's wide open for everybody, and they going for it. And Hankins, that signing, cool. That ain't the signing that's gonna put us where we need to be. One more big signing, give up whatever need to be. I'm gonna holler at you, Will. Still love you, bro. Love your show. Happy belated again.
Thank you.
I'm gonna holler at you.
Appreciate you, King. Not King Element, King Cowboy. We got 2 kings now. We got multiple kings. Y'all all kings. We going to see the Kang. Well, I listen. I'm all for being aggressive, but giving up whatever, not whatever. Yeah, but damn, he brought up DeAndre Hopkins. Now I can't get that name out of my head. I don't think that's a possibility. Boy, D-Hop. Oh, God, man, why you bring that up, King? D-Hop will be nasty, I think. We talked about. You said anybody else that we haven't talked about? Not that's coming to mind. Nothing's coming to mind. We've brought up the Judys of the world, the Cooks of the world. Speaking of receiver, I don't think they're going to do linebacker, so that's kind of why I'm not really bringing up backer as much anymore. I've heard defense end, surprisingly. So yeah, I mean the same old names, same positions, linebacker, wide receiver. Is kind of what I was thinking, but if they don't, I mean, you still position yourself to be one of the best teams in the NFC. But again, I'm never against adding more talent to get better. I mean, I see certain people say we don't need this and that, or don't go get this and that. I mean, okay, but like y'all so adamantly against getting better. It's crazy to me. Now, am I trying to mortgage the future? No, I'm not trying to give up 3 second-round picks in the first-round pick. I mean, I'm not doing that. Unless you're going to give me Aaron Donald, and that's just not happening. So is there a way I can get a guy for a 3rd-round pick, a third in a 6th or something, a 3rd in next year's whatever, or if it's a 2nd, it got to be one of those, DJ Moore type of players. So I don't know who is really available aside from the guys that we talked about already. So I don't have an extra name to give to you, King. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Clay Chase pool. Man. The Clay Chase Claypool. Did you just mix up his name? CG, what's up? CG, what's goody?
Yo, what's good with you, Scott?
What's up, man?
So, happy belated birthday, first and foremost. Now, I think I was going back and forth with somebody in the chat. They were saying that KJ is overrated and it's dangerous to put him in there as far as a cornerback.
Somebody said what now in the chat?
They were saying that they felt KJ was overrated as a corner and that it would be dangerous to put him in there at corner. I don't think they was watching AB mess up for the last 3 weeks, missing tackles and playing.
Yeah, I don't know. Why would it be dangerous against Justin Fields? Yeah.
That's my thing.
First, Shaq said would you say Chase Claypool? I'm like, wait a minute, no, it's Clay Chase Pool. But wait, now I'm messed up. Chase Clay, man, I don't know what it is no more. Anyway, go ahead. I thought it was Chase Claypool or whatever, man.
But no, I feel you on DQ playing the young talent and getting it ready and getting it prepared. He seems to do that at the defensive line. He seems to do that on the backside of the defense. When I look at our defense, the one issue that we have is our linebacker play. So I understand bringing in Hankins to keep the linebackers clean.
Yeah.
But that's not going to help them get to that ball any faster. They've been playing quite clean. Not as clean as you would like, but even on when they are clean, they're taking bad angles or they're late to the play. So that had me questioning, is it that he trusts the linebackers or he just doesn't trust Scott McCurley, who's the linebacker coach?
DQ?
If it's draft and develop and we got the young talent everywhere playing, why we haven't seen a Jabril Cox a little bit, or Harper a little bit?
That is the mystery question. In regard, at the very least, Jabril Cox, because coming out of the draft last year, we thought, man, we got a steal out of Jabril Cox, and they were just about to start getting him integrated, and then boom, he blew out his knee.
Then he got hurt.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it took some time. We figured it'd take him some time to get back, and he got back, and he looked like himself. But I wonder if he's not sure of himself, in practices or the film room or whatnot. Because I don't have a concrete answer. I've asked many people down there. I haven't gotten a concrete answer. The only thing that they say right now is that they just trust LVE and Anthony Barr.
Can you ask somebody down there what they think about Scott McCurley and his relationship with DQ? Because Scott McCurley is a Mike McCarthy guy.
He is, but if I was to guess based off what I've seen, George Edwards is your real linebackers coach. He just doesn't have the linebackers coach title.
Gotcha.
Scott McCurley has the title because I think he was hired first. But George Edwards is the one respected as a linebacker guy in that room. So that's another thing too, right? Like if George Edwards is also saying no, and remember he coached Anthony Barr. He coached Anthony Barr to multiple Pro Bowls. If they're saying these are the guys you want to roll with, and Q is saying these are the guys you want to roll with, it's kind of hard to look at them sideways. But as a fan, I do want to see Damone Clark and Jabril Cox because I just think that youthfulness, that the athleticism, I think could lean to more plays being made. But maybe they just want these guys to just not mess it up, right? And that's why they got them in there.
All right, and I'm gonna close with this because I was looking at the rosters and I see that Jabril Cox and Damone Clark are in the 230, 235 range when LVE's 255 and you got Barr at 245.
Yeah.
And when you have to deal with that trash, that may play a part in it, especially with the strength.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to make our strength stronger. So somewhere on the defense, we have to improve. I don't think that it's an accident that we're playing the Chicago Bears the week that the trade deadline is coming up. And the reason I say that is because Roquan Smith is not happy in Chicago. It's not going to take more than a second, and you probably could get him with a third and a sixth. Now, would you have to extend them? Yes. But would you be willing to extend them for 5 years for 105?
No.
Knowing that you can then have him, Micah Parsons, and all them boys when Barr's on a 1-year contract and LVE's on his way out. You still got Damone Clark, but he hasn't played yet, and we haven't seen Jabril Cox.
You think we can get him for a third and a sixth?
A third and a sixth, I think you could get him for a third and a sixth. They gave up Robert Quinn for a fourth.
Oh, Robert Quinn's 40 years old, brother.
Okay, then if we can't get a third and a sixth, I give up a second. It's Roquan. If Roquan Smith is on this defense, we're winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So if you're the Bears, who are in contention, you're going to give up your best player for a second-round pick?
Yeah.
Mm.
Watch. I think they're gonna pull Roquan Smith at halftime and tell him, "Take your jersey off. You've been traded." And he's gonna say where, and they're gonna leave him in Dallas.
What the hell, bro? This ain't.
Gonna leave him
my
in
man.
Dallas.
Hey, who's this? This CG out here tripping.
Hey, look.
Hey, Roquan, come sit down, bro. In fact, don't even sit down. Just go put on the jersey on the other side of it.
Go
That's
put on
not
the Cowboy
how
jersey.
this works.
And I look, and the 58 is open. They can go ahead and bring that 58 jersey
Listen,
to
bro.
the game.
CG,
And let them wear it.
You won't find a guy that wants Roquan more, in the world. I would love to have Roquan Smith on his team, but the reason why I'm giving up on that thought process or the linebacker spot in general is because Damone Clark is coming back. Is because they trust Anthony Barr and LVE. Is because they still have Jabril Cox in the tuck, and they haven't even played those guys yet, right? So I don't. And your defense is averaging 14 points per game. I'm giving up on that thought process, man. That's why we're talking about wide receiver.
Hey, we have to manage.
But I'm not here. But no, you do. I'm not here to fake the funk for y'all. Remember that, y'all come to me because I keep it a bean. You know, there's times where this is a time where I would love for that to happen, but I gotta keep it a bean with y'all, man. Just it's right there in front of y'all. Do you see any indication that they're looking for linebacker help? Are you listening to how they're talking about Damone Clark?
That's why. But look though, Roquan and Damone Clark for years to come. That's crazy.
Well, you ain't gonna get, but I would love to get a Roquan Smith, man. But it doesn't seem like
would
that's.
You give up a 2 and 4 for him? Would you give up a 2 and 4?
I would. Yeah. And 4? How many 4s we got next year? I probably would. Definitely if it gets you a ring.
I think 2 or 3. Look, listen. We got to do whatever we have to do to make sure that we can bring this home.
I would not pull the
Jerry
trigger
Jones
on the first.
Said last year he thought the window closed. The window is wide open this year.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but
in
I'm
NFC
gonna let you
it
go,
is.
man. Ponder on it, and I'm gonna call you back next week once we get Roquan at the trade deadline.
The trade deadline on Tuesday, so we gonna get him at halftime, right?
We're gonna get him at halftime, so I'm gonna call you back Monday.
CJ,
wow. He's gonna be at halftime with the 58 jersey. Why?
I ain't never heard nobody say no crazy. You wild, bro. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, now have a good one now.
You too. This man said we finna get Roquan Smith at halftime. All right. Now, if he don't get him at halftime, CG. But, man, yeah, Roquan Smith was our flavor of the month, for the last month of the season. I just don't think it's not what I'm hearing, man. It's just not what I'm hearing. I hope like hell. I would love a Roquan Smith. I think Roquan Smith was, like a lot of people believe, would set this defense on fire. And honestly, I'd be willing to just rent him. Because I do. Here's the thing. Damone Clark, man, I really want to see what Damone. I feel like Damone Clark could be a great piece for this defense. So I'm not necessarily looking to get a linebacker for the long term. Like I'm not looking to get Roquan and paying him, what do you say, 5 years, $105 million. No, I'm not really looking to do that, especially an off-ball linebacker, as great as he is. Because I want Michael Parsons and another running mate to be those guys. And I don't need to pay all that extra money for anybody else because Micah is that dude. And then you get a guy like Damone Clark to play next to Micah. That's even better. So, but as a mercenary for a year, especially if it gets you to the Super Bowl, yeah, I'd be willing to pay a price to do it. But at halftime, yo, wow, man. He said we got to make it happen. How we going to make it happen, CG? Give me a way to make it happen where I ain't got to give up my first round pick for an off-ball linebacker. James, a truck driver. What's goody?
Hey, what's up, Sky? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man.
Hey, man, what do you think about us playing a more traditional 4-3 on defense? Do you think that might help the running situation we have of being ran on so much? What do you think?
I think we do. I think we play 4-3, but we're a multiple front. We do a lot of odds. We do 4-3 stuff. We do 5 bear front stuff. We do a lot of odd stuff. In fact, we tried to run some bear stuff against the Eagles and it didn't work. I don't really think it's so much so the personnel alignment. I do think it's the actual alignment sometimes. But again, James, I'm not as down on the run defense as many. Like, I don't think the run defense is some trash defense. They're 17th in the league in yards per carry at 4.4. And if that goes down by 0.2, they go into the top 15 in the league. So I just feel like what gets us really isn't the line of scrimmage things. It's the horizontal things. It's the eye candy stuff. We're going to get our linebackers going this way, and then we're going to come that way, and the trickery and all the cute stuff. So I don't know if an alignment necessarily is going to help that more as your linebackers maybe becoming downhill more, or your defensive tackles kind of getting in the backfield and disrupting things more. But as far as 3-4, 4-3, multiple front, I guess if you're in the wrong front, you get caught in the wrong front, it could help. But I'm okay with how Dan Quinn utilizes this multiple defense.
Yeah. And I actually don't think that our run defense is as bad as it seems Philly, they had to run the ball a lot
Yeah.
in order to get the yardage that they got, and their yards per carry was not that great, but they kept the chains moving. That was the key for them. I want to make this point, then I'm gonna roll out. We need a route running wide receiver. I think, and we had one, but that's neither here nor there. A route running wide receiver will make it easier for CeeDee Lamb. It will make it easier for the running game, which will make it easier for the defense because we will keep we will have the ball more. You know, we'll milk the clock more. Which in essence, if we can score and put pressure on the other team's offense, which will make them pass the ball, then that works into our advantage. But we got one problem, and the problem is Kellen Moore. If we get that route running wide receiver, then what's going to happen with the running game? See, Kellen Moore is this is Kellen Moore right here. Kellen Moore is that dude. He went to school. He's the teacher. He was the teacher and the student at the same time. Now, he is now learning how to be an offensive coordinator because Mike McCarthy is guiding him. So we're actually going through a second phase of growing pains with Kellen Moore. The first was when he was just a wild card and he was just doing whatever. Now he's learning under somebody that knows offense and is trying to teach him how to use his running game along with his passing game. So this is like the second phase of a learning process.
So, all right. So we got to be careful because we're kind of. I don't think you're realizing what you're doing here. You're saying we need that guy, and a lot of people would believe if we get that type of wide receiver, their concern is involving him. But we're asking for that guy because we've seen this offense perform at peak level with that type of guy, right? Right. But then in the same sentence, we're saying, well, Kellen Moore. Well, if that type of guy would help this offense and Kellen Moore be successful, we got to be careful in saying, well, I don't believe Kellen Moore XYZ. Right? Because when we had that type of guy and we were running the ball, Cowboys were the best offense in the league. For whatever reason, all that stopped, and we can speculate for whatever. I actually think, while yes, that is a concern, Kellen Moore is a concern, you go pass heavy, yada yada. I actually think if you drop a Mari Cooper type of wide receiver into this offense now, I think you become even more efficient. I think this is the perfect time actually to do it because now not just Kellen or Mike or Dak, they all understand we don't got to throw the ball 35, 40 times a game. But that guy that you described is going to help back off that defense. Or when it is time to throw, maybe this is a series we got to throw the rock, or this is a quarter we got to throw a rock, or this is a game we got to throw a rock. That guy can get open. But I think at the one thing that I have to give him credit for right now, as we're October 28th, going into week 8, as much as he wants to throw the ball a million times, he has been more balanced on a consistent basis than maybe ever before in his career as a play caller. So he's shown at the very least for the last 7 weeks, I can run the ball. We can remain balanced, right? So I'm trying to be fair to Kellen right at this moment. He's shown that. Where I want to see more from Kellen is all that cool stuff. I say cool as if it's cute stuff. It's not cute, but the creative stuff that you do, make that part of your identity and not just something you sprinkle in. So that's a long-winded way of saying we got to be careful in wanting to get that guy, saying that guy is going to help this offense because we've seen that type of guy help this offense, and then in the same sentence say, oh, well, but then Kellen Moore is going to screw it up. I think this would be a good time to get that type of dude because I don't think I don't think we're going to lose our balance. I don't. I listen to Dak. I'm listening to how he feels about this offense. I'm listening to how he feels about this defense. I think we still remain balanced, James.
I mean, and look at it. Look at this. We got two hungry young tight ends. Why can't we incorporate them in the offense to help out the offense? I mean, we just don't use what we have. And what I mean, I'm just.
You're
it's
tight.
an oxymoron.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Cooper Rush wasn't using your tight ends. That was a Cooper. That was a Cooper Rush problem. Dak Prescott, when he's been the quarterback 2 games, the tight ends have had like 20 receptions or something like that. Close to it.
And you're right. And you're right, because Dak is just getting back. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's, you're right. I'm gonna leave it at that. You're right. And I know Dak will use them because Dak loves his tight end. He know how to use them. So
he goes through his reads. And everybody that believe he don't read the damn defense. Sometimes the funny thing about it is we think he might read it too fast sometimes. But he goes through his reads and he'll come back down to his tight end and get that easy 8-9 yards.
Right. And both of them boys, they got yak with them too. They ain't like Schultz where you just catch it for 7 yards and then you fall down.
Yeah. I want to see him go back to that play that we ran in, I believe it was in not Green Bay, in New York, where they had Peyton Hendershot on that motion, and then like right at the snap, he's still motioning, and they put the Giants defense in a bind, and Peyton Hendershot got wide open and got like 20 yards of yak. I want to see him go back to something like that, or a seam shot. Send them boys down the seam and let's see what happens.
Right. Well, Sky, I appreciate you, bro. Have a good weekend, and we trying to get on back.
Good stuff, man. Appreciate the call, James.
All right, appreciate you.
It is a very interesting conversation to have because we all have our reservations with the guy. I don't hide mine, but I like to kind of talk about what is happening, and it's hard for me to look at how these games are rolling, and we've been balanced. So that's step one. We've baby steps with this dude. We can't baby steps. We've been balanced. We got the running backs. You got the offensive line to run the ball well. You've shown some creativity from a running standpoint. We know, or we believe, I believe at the very least right this moment, that, okay, even with that coming back against a team you could have threw the ball all over the field on. You decided not to. Stay balanced. Funny thing is, though, I looked on Twitter, and this is why you don't look on Twitter. Well, Dak needs the audible out of XYZ. Y'all don't know what y'all want from that man. I truly don't understand it. Because when he does audible out of it, y'all get pissed off. Now, he's not audibling out of those weird, not weird, but those 3rd and short non-conversions because we ran the ball because y'all want him to run the ball more. Y'all get pissed off. Oh, boy. King Element. Hey, Sky, you think we can get Pat Mahomes if we give up a 5th in LVE? Yeah. All right. We're going to take a quick little break, man. Come back and we'll finish up on the phones. Don't want to get to my keys. I don't think we need to today. We're having good conversations. Maybe I'll save it for Sunday. Let's talk about, before we finish up on these phones, brought to you by Boston Scientific, the fan focus on your health. In the U.S., more than 39 million men suffer from ED. Boston Scientific created edcure.org to help you find your best cure. To get started, go to edcure.org, take the quiz, and learn the severity of or risk that you have of ED. If you have a condition that puts you at a higher risk, you'll find customized content. The fastest way to find your best cure is to contact an ED specialist by browsing a list of experienced physicians in your area. Visit edcure.org, brought to you by Boston Scientific.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
in front of the millions
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and reach for the sky. Here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
We'll do it live.
I ain't changing this pick. We are 5-0. 5-0. with my multiverse doppelganger. My, what's it called in the Loki show? 5-0. Should have kept it for the Eagles. Probably to beat them. Variants. There you go. My variant, man, in the multiverse. Yeah. Kang the Conqueror. Oh, not today, but this weekend. You know what? I ain't gonna bring it up because y'all just gonna ruin it for me in the chat. But let's get back to the lines, man. I had Los on hold. What's goody, Los?
Buenos dias, Ty, man. Hope you're having a blessed morning, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Appreciate you. How you doing?
Good, good. My only thing is for my kid this game, and I'll let you go, is, like I said yesterday, I think if we can control up front both sides of the game, the line defensively and offensively, we have a great chance. And I'm having a huge spotlight on the secondary room and this linebacker room because they're going to be in charge of limiting everything in front of them and keep them getting from the second level like always. Because I think that's something we can improve on is, the run game and opportunities we get twice or 3 times a game where a wide receiver is going to run just past this zone we're running. So I want to see how they control fields running into space. And if he's running, let him run into a defender and not into a blocker where it was space. Basically, let it be like a control pass rush, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and good stuff, man.
Yeah, so that's all I have. And my score for Sunday, I have Cowboys winning by 24-13.
24-13. I like it. Keep them under 20 again.
All right, peace.
All right, brother. I forgot to read some super chats yesterday. And let me read some for today, too. Who did I miss yesterday? Oh, no, I was good yesterday. Oh, no. My man Tavis said, only in Dallas, the great players get slandered by our fan base. I wanted to make sure I got that for you, bro. All right, today.
Super chat.
Twan hit us up earlier to talk about Vach, and then he came back and said, that's a lie. I trust Kelvin. Y'all taking a small sample size of nothing and writing him off with no valid point. That's a fact. Have people watch KJ. Y'all must be in, when I was talking about Kelvin Joseph, y'all must have been in the chat going off. Y'all must have been going off, man. Quentin Johnson.
Super chat.
Appreciate you, man. He says, there's no way the Bears give up Smith for a second. Happy belated birthday. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I am. It's hard to really think about it because he's an off-ball linebacker, so I could potentially see them giving up a second for him or getting a second in return for him if they have no plans at all for in keeping him. But the reason why I asked CG this, I'm like, well, even if the Bears lose this game, they'll be sitting at 3-5, something like that, right? Sitting at 3-5 with a chance to still, do some good things, and they have a good defense. So I feel like, okay, we're going to give up Robert Quinn, one of our better defensive players, and then next week we're going to give up Roquan. I just have a hard time seeing the Bears wanting to rid Roquan unless the Cowboys go out there and whoop them so bad and Roquan is in the locker room causing an issue. Roquan Smith came out, said, I wanted to get paid, but I'm going to come practice. All right, I'm not getting paid. I'm going to come play. I'm going to play hard. I'm going to try to lead this team and be a good player, good person, and he has been. So unless there's something I don't know about the Bears organization and Roquan Smith, I just have a hard time believing Roquan, will get traded for a 3 and a 6, maybe a second. But now, all that to the side, I would love to get Roquan Smith. But I always have to say, put yourself in that team's shoes. What are they getting in return? Do they want to do it? Maybe they want to build some momentum here. So I don't know. I'd have to maybe I should look into go talk to some not Bears fans, but Bears reporters or Bears podcast or content creator. They're more familiar with it than we would be. Oh, got to get my guy Jay Tuck in the building. What's good, bro?
Yeah, what's going on, bro, man? First and foremost, happy birthday, man. I hope you had a good one. What's going on, Cowboys Nation?
Indeed, man. It was good. I'm going to continue it this weekend. Going to check out some movies.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I want to chime in real quick, man. This Kelvin Joseph talk got me thinking. So is the conversation that Kelvin Joseph's going to start over Anthony Brown? That's what people are talking about.
Nah. I use the term start. I was trying to be messy. I don't know if he's going to start, but I think he's going to play some. I think he's going to play a good bit.
Right. Okay, cool. Just want to chime in because, like I said, man, I think that would be a drastic jump. Salute to KJ if he was to kind of start this season off in the bottom of the barrel and work his way up to be starting over Anthony Brown. I just think when it comes to Anthony Brown, bro, as far as the Dallas Cowboys defense with pass coverage, they're kind of doing their job. So I think he's just out there fat-catting a little bit, But I think there's a lot of room, like you said, for improvement, especially on the tackling edge. But I just think they faced Tom Brady. They went against the Rams. They went against Joe Burrow. And the secondary has played well. So I just don't think that there's a sense of urgency to make any drastic changes opposite of Diggs. But what I also want to talk about, Scott, is the wide receiver core, because that's my biggest question mark. And when you watch Michael Gallup, and shoot me straight, bro, are you seeing the same Michael Gallup that we saw, of the past? He looks extremely limited when you kind of watch him on film the past, like, three games since he's been back.
We did a tail of the tape on Tuesday. Man, why fast? On Tuesday, and I specifically showed a route that he ran. I'm like, there is a literal hitch and limp in his route. I mean, we're all seeing this, right? Like, we're all seeing that he's not fully back, right? And then later in the game, he had a fantastic get off on the line of scrimmage in the red zone, but he's clearly not back, man. And that's kind of another reason why I'm like, well, maybe you do look for something at wide, even if it's not an alpha, even if it's not a 1 or a 2, maybe a specialty guy that you can get out there and help, clear some things up for Michael Gallup, so he doesn't have to run these deep digs or these deep post or fly routes. He can do some more underneath, stuff, because he's still recovering, and that was going to happen, right? Like, you're not going to come back in less than a year from an ACL injury, unless AP or Adrian Peterson, and be who you were. It usually takes a literally full year of playing, and then the next year you're back to who you were.
Right. And so that's the case. I know some people are mentioning, James Washington returning as well. It's going to take him some time to get revved up. So for me personally, I would like to have Roquan Smith to make a strength to strength when it comes to our defense. But we need another wide receiver. I mean, CeeDee Lamb can't do it all on his own. We know Noah Brown, but he's just a guy. We just need another guy to pull a lot of that attention away to open things up for this offense. And so, I know this kind of mentioned about DJ Moore. I think that's outside of the scope. But, I mean, if you can go get a Jared Judy or someone who's a real threat, you got to go make that move. Because I feel like right now our offense, just not having explosiveness, is just kind of limiting us right now to being what we really could be. Because I'm not just thinking about contention. I'm thinking about winning the whole damn thing. And you're going to have to go beat a Kansas City or a Buffalo. You're going to have to score points. So that's just my thoughts, man. But I just want to chime in on this Kelvin Joseph thing. I see the chat. Yeah, I'm not an Anthony Brown fan. Y'all know I'm not. Y'all know I wanted me a corner in the draft. But I just feel like that's going to take a huge leap for him to go to special teams and starting over AB. But you'll see both of the young corners, I think, this weekend get a lot of reps with Bland and
let's try to ignore the starting part. I was being messy there. But you don't think this is the perfect opportunity for Kelvin Joseph to play almost equal, if not more, snaps than Anthony Brown this week? Because at the end of the day, let's just be completely real. Anthony Brown's play has been on the downside, mostly because of his tackling ability. But if they're asking him to play off, and then you're not doing your job in tackling, to me, that whether it's covering, we don't want to get on him for his covering skills because it hasn't been like he's being burnt or anything like that. But if your responsibility is to not get beat underneath and make the tackle, he hasn't done that. So I'd argue we should take a look at Kelvin Joseph. And this would be a great week to do it because Justin Fields is not going to beat you with his arm on a consistent basis. Yes, we don't have to get on AB for getting toasted or anything. He hasn't really been doing that. His coverage skills have been about what they are. But I always say if there is room for improvement, and I always believe AB was a replacement level player, and it might be that time. Let's see what we got. I think this is the perfect week tuck to see what Kelvin Joseph can do out there. And maybe you move AB inside then, right? In the slot.
Yeah, and I had that conversation. Like, you know what if you move, Kelvin Joseph outside and push AB back inside? So a lot of people are like, no, you leave AB outside. But, for me, if we're going to test some young guys, I'm testing them at the linebacker core. And I just feel like that is our biggest question mark. And like I said, how much can you really get off of Kelvin Joseph if he plays against Justin Fields, who can't throw? So you want to be sure.
You get momentum is what you get.
How does these young bucks go against the run game?
You get momentum and you get tape to see, because what you're going to see is you're going to see quick stuff, right? Get the ball out fast, quick slants. You're going to see they may play off a few times and you have to come up and tackle. You're going to get screens and they're going to come up and tackle. So now you say, and you're going to get them running, right? Period. That's the other part of it, right? We talk about the coverage part, but you're going to get them running at the edges to you. And if they can look at Kelvin Joseph and say, maybe we could do some Jeff Okudah type of things with this dude as opposed to AB, who, listen, AB has made tackles in his day, right? He even did it, I think, against the Rams. But that's not a guy you want to be like, yo, we going to set the edge with AB. You know what I mean? Right. Like Kelvin Joseph physical like that. So
Right. Yeah. So like I said, it's an opportunity. I felt like last week we should have saw some young players playing. I know the game didn't go, as we thought, up front, but like it's time to kind of see. I want to see what Jabril Cox is like, because I feel like with Anthony Barr and LVE, it just doesn't look good. But hopefully, our run defense will improve, and this is going to be a week that we need to see it, man. So I'm not going to hold up the line, man. Scott, appreciate you guys, man. Keep doing your thing, bro. Have a good weekend.
You too, bro. Good stuff from my guy, Jay Tuck. CFO Sports. Got to make sure because he switched that up. CFO Sports on YouTube. Make sure y'all check him out. And then on Twitter, if you dare. If you dare. I believe it's at JTuck151. If I'm wrong, JTuck, drop your Twitter in here. Yeah, I listen, man. I think this is a great week. A great week to see, what these guys can do. I do. And you know what makes this so, I don't want to use the word tough, but maybe weird. And even with the linebacker spot, because I do believe the linebacker spot is a spot where I would like to see some young bucks get more opportunity as well, is when you look at the defense, you're like, the top ranked NFC defense. Some would say the best defense in the league. So it's like, do you mess with this, mess with that? But you're always trying to get better. You're always trying to get better. And maybe we should learn from our mistakes last year where we were ignoring some of the things that we were like, hey, we got to tighten up this, right? And it came back and bit us in the butt later on. Yes, Tuck, if you dare. See, they don't know. They don't know. You get on there on Twitter. You going to F around and find out if you come on Twitter with Tuck and all right. Go on ahead. 912. What it is? What it do, Mr.
What up, Scott?
Mr.
Unpopular opinion.
There we go. What's goody?
Okay, so I want to call in to sort of kind of defend Kellen Moore.
Okay.
Now, granted, I only played quarterback at the high school level, and then I started coaching as an offensive coordinator at the high school level. So it's not college or the NFL at the level he's at. But I get the mindset of what Kellen Moore is trying to do. If you look back from 2000 until last season and just look at the Super Bowl winners and throw teams out there and the names of the quarterbacks, if you just name out the top of your head, just name a few teams that won the Super Bowl between 2000 and now. What are their names? You got Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, right? We got a lot of teams that put fear in defenses from doing what? Throwing the football. And I feel like Kellen Moore is like, well, analytics in the past always gives us a peek into the future. So if we want to get to that next level, we at least have to have the threat to be able to beat you deep, as well as being balanced to wear the defense down. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, balance. When we say balance offensively,
you don't necessarily have to be Aaron Rodgers 2006 air raid, but you still have to have the threat to go deep. And that's why I feel like the Cowboys need just one more receiver that just gives that threat. You don't necessarily have to use it, but it's still good to have that threat to back the defense up just a little bit. You want those linebackers, you want those corners playing off the line of scrimmage, at least good 6-7 yards off the line of scrimmage to give your running backs room to run. That has to come from the threat of throwing the football. And I kind of feel like he's forcing that, but not quite knowing how to do that effectively.
Yeah, when we talk about balance, the other part of being balanced is being able to have a threat throwing the ball. That's the other part, and I'm with a lot of y'all. A receiver would help, not just any receiver either, but yeah.
I mean, we keep yelling, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. We all remember before Amari Cooper came to the Cowboys, and Michael Gallup was the number one receiver, and he was new, and we ran the ball. They just started stacking the box and meeting Ezekiel Elliott at the box without care about.
Yeah, I don't care about that though. You know why? Because that was a different Dak Prescott.
Right.
That was a totally different Dak Prescott.
Different Dak.
Yeah, this is a different
Right,
Dak.
but I mean, look, Gordon Ramsay can't turn shit into sugar. It doesn't matter who you are. Dak has to have something to work with.
I think he does. I just think think another element will put you a little bit more over the top, right? I don't like to compare it to 2018 because CeeDee Lamb, this tight end group is better. I think this offensive line run blocks better. I just think it's Dak Prescott's year 7. I just think it's completely different. But an extra element out there once you get into the playoffs, if you have to go up again and get into a shootout, will help you. If you look at our schedule, you may not even need to get in that type of game, but you want to be equipped to if you have to.
Right. But yeah, I just wanted to defend Kellen Moore a little bit because I understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to keep the threat. Like, hey, look, they're not very successful throwing the ball, but you got to watch out because they still will.
All right.
Pun intended. They still will go deep.
My man.
Right?
Well, Dak will.
So
Dak.
Right, he will throw it deep. He will throw it deep. And I think one thing corners hate doing is running full speed, stride for stride with a receiver down the field. I think that's the hardest thing for a corner to defend. And safeties usually overshoot.
All right. Good call. Let me keep it moving.
Yep.
Appreciate you, man. Let's get to 714. What's goody?
Hey, Sky. How's it going?
I'm good, man. It's Friday. Getting ready for the weekend. How you?
Same. Just picked up my Chick-fil-A, so I'm ready to go.
Damn, so you about to make me get some damn Chick-fil-A when I'm done. What's up, though?
So last night I was on YouTube, and I ran into a video of LeBron James. And he was saying that he's not a Dallas Cowboys fan anymore.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah, so real quick, and reason why I'm asking this question is because I have a few people in my family that are not Cowboys fans, and I just don't want them to have misinformation. And then I want to get an answer from you if this is true, what LeBron said. That way I can have some ammo to back myself up when we're having a conversation.
Is what true, the kneeling thing?
Yeah, but the kneeling about Jerry firing somebody.
With all due respect, 714. You came to the wrong show for ammo. And I'm gonna say this respectfully. I do not care about the LeBron video. I don't care about the video. I don't care about what he said. So I can't give you any ammo for your friends or family. You'll have to look that up somewhere else. That's the last thing I care about when it comes to this. Yeah. So I say that respectfully, good brother.
Oh, okay, no worries.
You got anything for the game?
I do actually. So we have Quadre Allison. Do you think we'll ever use him?
Oh, I think he will get called up this week. Yeah. If Ezekiel Elliott is out, you need 3 running backs, right? And you need somebody on special teams. And I think Malik Davis was the punt protector on special teams. And if he's going to be RB2, maybe he's not the punt protector now. But regardless, you usually roll with 3 running backs on game day. So I think they will call Quadre up this week.
Yeah, I would be excited to watch him play. He seems like he's a big guy, can hit hard.
Yeah, and you know what? If they do call him up, I would love to see him work a 3-headed monster type of situation there. Obviously, give Tony Pollard his carries, and then Malik's going to get. But between Malik Davis and Quadre, maybe you split those carries. But I've been an advocate for a committee approach if you're going to be a run team anyway. But hey, Doc, appreciate the call, man.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
I don't. Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to be as respectful as possible, but y'all know I don't care about that foolishness shit. I thought I locked the damn. Oh, let me lock these up right now. Let's get to 717. Who this? 717. You got me. You got me. Turned up back there. Hello.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Sky.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. 717, man. I've been watching your show. I'm a new caller, man.
Man, let me ask you something. 717. That's Central Pennsylvania. We're at in Central PA.
Right. 20 minutes from Harrisburg, York, PA.
York in the building. Hey, what's good, my lady from York? What up, man?
What's going on?
How long you been living here?
Yeah, man, I've been listening. I've been hearing all this talking about getting a new receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think we need one.
Okay.
I think we need to use them young tight ends more. I think if we get them young tight ends more involved and throw a wrinkle in here and there with Turpin and just run the ball, and I think Michael Gallup will come along and CD is CD. So, but I think we need to get the scheme better and use the tight ends, man.
I don't think you're wrong. I think scheming, in order to mitigate not having that type of wide receiver would be to scheme, right? But we all can agree that's something that Kellen, I think, is trying to become more consistent at is being a really good scheme play caller from game to game. So I don't know if we're quite ready to be like, yeah, I trust Kellen to scheme up something all the time, being deficient at wide receiver. Here's why, even if you get the tight ends involved more, which the 2 tight ends are involved, they aren't guys that are going to dictate to a defense. That ain't Jason Kelsey, bro. Or Jason Kelsey. Travis Kelsey. That ain't George Kittle. No. Ain't nobody. Nobody's going out there and saying, yo, we got to bubble Jake Ferguson. We got to bubble Peyton Hendershot. Like that ain't who they are right now. The reason why I understand maybe getting a guy out there at the wideout position, not that it may not even happen. You may get a guy like Mims who's not going to do it anyway. But not having a guy like Amari Cooper, the reason why you see this trickle-down effect is because he helped open things up. That just is what it is. He helped open things up offensively. He made a safety have to shade here. He made a linebacker have to maybe bubble back here, or he made a defense in general have to say, hey, we got to kind of respect this pass game a little bit here. So I think that's why that's a little bit more valuable than we're just going to run 12 personnel all day and get the tight ends involved with 8-9 hooks or whatever, 8-9 yard hooks or something like that. Yes, get the tight ends involved, but I don't think they're going to make a defense, play that much differently, if that makes sense. All that's going to do is say, okay, you got to matriculate down the field and don't mess up, which that's what teams are doing right now to the Cowboys.
Yeah. I can see that. But yeah, I just want to tap base in, see what's going on. And I've been watching you, so.
Man, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
all the way from York. Thanks, man. Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree in getting the tight ends involved more because of your current situation. I mean, it's CeeDee Lamb and it's a hobbled Michael Gallup. I don't know when. Like we're all hoping Michael Gallup wakes up and he's 2019 Michael Gallup. Y'all know me. I don't like to live on a hope creed, right? Because you go out there and it's, week to week. Are you worried about a hobbled Michael Gallup? I'm not worried about a hobbled Michael Gallup. If I'm a defender, right? If I'm a defense, I don't worry about a hobbled Michael Gallup. I'm not. So, well, play underneath. Make him matriculate down the field. What happened against the Lions at the end of the first half is exactly what defenses want you to do. Ping, 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 get some good runs because they got some good runs. You got a first down here. Oh, good pass to Ferguson, good pass to CeeDee Lamb. Oh, you busted a 20-yarder. Yeah, great. And get to the red zone, turnover. Noah Brown. That's what they want you to do because they're not afraid of your explosiveness offensively. Now, he did bring up Kevontae Turpin, but I would love to see Turpin get involved. We talk about that all the damn time. But even Turpin's not a guy that's going to play 40 snaps, 50 snaps. He's still not going to be that guy, right? So if you're not going to go out there and get that type of wide receiver, Jerry Jeudy, DJ Moore, whatever, then you do have to scheme things up a bit differently. And that's where the pressure does fall on Kellen. And what did we talk about before the season even started? I said, as is, if this is the offense we're going to roll with, a lot of pressure on Kellen Moore. A lot of pressure on him to get more creative. A lot of pressure on Dak Prescott to carry a lesser talented offense than previously before. Now, then he got hurt and we switched things up. I still think the pressure is on. Now it's just different. Now it's, hey, we just need you to do just enough. We don't need you to lead this team in scoring or what have you. We just need you to do enough because our defense is that damn good. We're gonna pray about Gallup. 501. What it is, what it do.
What up, Scott?
What up, man?
Still. How
Yes,
you
sir.
doing today, man?
I'm good, man.
Hey, I like to
some
stay
good calls.
more. Hey, I like to stay more, realistic about the Cowboys. They don't like to give up a lot for no trades or anything.
All right.
So, and everybody trying to go about the big name wide receivers. I just want to keep it simple. Why we just can't go down and call Miami? They're not using Sid Wilson. He's familiar with our offense. They paid him $7 million for 3 years.
Something like
and
that.
Why we can't give him a 6 or 7 and get him back? And I think they can show us up. What you think about that? I'm gonna get off here, and you have a great day, man.
Thanks, man. Good call. Sid Wilson. Let me go look at his contract because I do want to make sure I'm not speaking incorrectly in regards to, he just get Sid Wilson back because I don't know what it's going to cost Miami on a dead situation. And he did say he's a realistic outlook guy. So, I really ain't that bad. What? I mean, I'm looking at Spy Rack. So if Miami were to trade Sid Wilson right now, they would save $4 million and have $1.7 million on dead cap, and the next year $2 million. That is actually that's doable. Now, but do the Cowboys want to carry an $8 million cap hit next year on the season? I don't know. They weren't even willing to pay Sid Wilson that type of money in general. Shit. Sean Walker said Wilson back for that. Wait a minute now. If I can get Miami, and they'll probably take some of that money, right? And you're not absorbing his entire cap hit, which ain't that crazy this year. But it's Sid Wilson putting you over the top, though. And I like Sid Wilson. I want a slot guy. I was hearing that too. Like Sid ain't doing. I know he got like 4 catches, something weird. That might be more realistic than I thought. I thought Miami would suffer a great deal in regards to dead cap, but I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that at all. We're talking about $1.7 million in dead cap. this year, and the next year $2 million. Not saying that said gonna put you over the damn top, but if you ain't gonna go out here and get one of them ones, I welcome Said Wilson back here, dog. Hey, take this 6th round pick. That's where we got him. Huh. Professor O, any interest in Devontae Parker? Man, I was always a fan of Devontae Parker. How healthy has he been, Professor? Let's take a look. Being a fantasy fan, I always was like, this is the year for Devontae Parker. Boy, couldn't stay healthy to save his life. He's played in 6 of the 7 games this year. Had that nasty grab last week. Ain't gonna put you over the top, but man, take Devontae Parker on this. I don't want to be that anybody but guy, man. No. Shit. I mean, what do they want? But see, am I being phony? Y'all let me know if I'm being phony. If I'm not all gung ho about Denzel Mims and Clay's Chase Pool, then should I even be getting hyped about Devontae Parker? Shaq said we need a Cooper, not a Said. Why, you're not wrong, Shaq. See, this is how I know you're not familiar that much with how we use Said. Maybe you're a Vikings fan. Boy, Said Wilson got a lot of. He does a lot for the Cowboys, man. I mean, a lot of those, and we call trick plays, right? They are trick plays, but he can actually throw that rock when you do those trick plays. I think he's a very versatile receiver in that he got the feet and the skills to play in the slot and to play outside. He has amazing hands, and he has a connection and understanding of this offense. So think about this for a second. Let's just be general managers. We go trade for a Denzel Mims. He's so funny. You go trade for a Denzel Mims. You go trade for a Devontae Parker. Realistically, they don't know you. They won't know or be comfortable in this offense for what, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, maybe? And then maybe we'll see what the potential can be when they understand the offense. Sam Wilson comes in here and he knows the offense now. He knows that quarterback now. He knows exactly where he wants to put the ball on a deep shot, on a post corner, on a slant, in the red zone, right? He knows his playbook. He knows everything from front to back. So I think Said would actually be a little bit more valuable than a guy like a Claypool. Yeah, Claypool or a Mims. But DJ Moore, Jerry Judy, that's a different story. It's a different story. Yeah, I might have to get on Twitter and be obnoxious about Said Wilson. 469, then Reek, and we out of here. 469, what's up?
What's up? I have 3 things briefly.
Yep.
First thing first, people need to stop saying it's Kellen Moore's fault for the way this offense is ran. This offense is designed for speed. I don't know what the wide receivers need. I'll say this. Wide receiver coaches need to teach the wide receivers about spacing and to flatten some of these routes. There should be no reason why they can't get open, or at least, do comeback routes, maybe some quick posts, things like that. That's what I feel needs to be done. Kellen Moore does have a tendency to be in love with the pass. We get that. So we're a team where we can run the ball or pass it. So it just is what it is. The second thing, Dallas should have never got rid of Malik Turner. I felt like he had a promising future.
I like Malik Turner. Let me see what he's doing.
Yeah. He was a yak guy. You give him the ball in open space, he'll juke you out of your pants. And then the third thing, I have power rankings in my mind, the best teams in the NFL as far as the top 5 are concerned. I feel like Buffalo Bills number 1, Chiefs number 2, Dallas number 3, and then Philadelphia Eagles, because Dak is back. So I should have said 4. I feel like we're a better team than the Eagles. There's no way that Dallas should have been 20-17. And I think, wasn't it Brett Maher's miss that would have made it basically 20-20 in the game? if he would have missed that field goal?
Oh, well, it was a 60-yard field goal, I think, at the end of the game, right? Can't be mad at him for that, man.
Yeah, but
oh, wait. You talking about the Eagles game?
Yeah, the Eagles game.
No,
yeah.
he didn't miss a field goal that. No, he never missed a field goal that would have made it 20 to 20. He missed a field goal at the end of the game where they tried to get it back to a one possession.
Okay, my bad. Sorry about that. Okay, my apologies.
Yeah,
But
my have been perfect basically. Yeah.
If they were so good, we should have never. It should have never been 20-17. And
yeah. I think we could beat them. Yeah, I think we could beat them.
Or fourth. What's that?
I think we could beat them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Especially this December game. Stop it.
At the third and fourth at the crib too. You know, we ain't gotta go to Philly in December. I hate going to Philly in December. They gotta come here.
I believe we're gonna beat them convincingly. I think we'll probably beat them by 10 or 12 points.
My only worry.
Oh yeah.
My only worry is that it may not matter to them by then. Like I hate to be that
Trust
guy.
me, they'll be an upset. They'll have an upset this year.
I hate to be that guy, man. I looked at their damn schedule, bro. Oh, Jesus.
I know the NFC is weak. I get it, but there will be an upset. NFL's been weird this year.
It has. Yep, you're right about that.
But yeah, that's all I have.
All right, man. Good call. Appreciate you.
All right.
Oh, probably. You still on the phone? All right, now since I got you here because I wrote this down. Real quick, I don't need you to go on like a 5 minute soliloquy. But you said this offense is designed for speed. But how come the Cowboys don't emphasize it then? That's what I wanted to ask you.
I feel like they're having a problem with spacing. That's why I said receivers need to flatten their routes. Like, say, for instance, they're running like somebody might run a fly route and then another receiver run a post. The post player needs to flatten that route a little bit. So that way it can probably draw some type of
right. But that was that was the second part. But you said the offense is designed for speed. I don't know. I don't even know that it is because I don't. They haven't really made that an emphasis offensively with the guys that they bring in, whether it be at the receiver position or the tight end position or anything like that.
I'm only basing off of Kellen's play calling.
All right.
So it's more of a speed thing. And instead of running, he would really rather have the running back catch out of the backfield as opposed to running it. That's just how he's designed it. But we still have run plays regardless. What's that? I'm basing this off of from his beginning to last year.
You sure we're watching the same offensive play call?
I'm basing off of when he first started as a coordinator to last year. That's what kind of game he likes to call. But this year, he's been forced to run the ball.
So last year, you believe that they targeted the running backs out the backfield purposefully? I didn't see that.
I saw it quite a bit last year.
Okay.
I didn't like it as much either, but that's just the way he calls it. Or called it.
I wish they would target the running backs out the backfield purposely a little bit more, to be honest with you. But it's always interesting to hear another perspective on what they're seeing, man. But good call. Appreciate you.
All right.
Yeah, I wish they did a little bit more, wheel routes with Tony Pollard. There's no reason why Tony Pollard should not be top 5 in catches for a running back. You know how you mitigate not having that guy out there? Turning TP into Eckler. Turning TP into Alvin Kamara. And don't tell me he ain't got the type of talent, because he does. He absolutely does. No, I'm frustrated. I'm just saying. I could have been looking at it wrong. I told you I don't know every goddamn thing. Shit, half the time y'all help me out with a lot of stuff. That's why y'all the best. But I don't recall actively utilizing Tony Pollard as a receiver out the backfield. I don't even recall the reads, even till this day, even till right now, saying, "Hey, we're going to take advantage of the running back." I've seen that across the league. You hardly ever see, and I'm not saying it has to be a first read, but sometimes there is an advantage. There is Oh, 55 on 20 with all this space out here. I know it's trips over there, but this should be the read. But anyway. All right. Send us out, Reek. What's goody?
Hey, what's going on, Sky? What's going on, Cowboy Nation? Like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I think that we should see what happens this week as far as going to trade for somebody. I do think we do need to upgrade in the wide receiver room or wherever they feel like they have a deficiency at. Now, if we go out here and...
You being nice. I know what you really want to say, Reek.
Cut it out.
Go ahead.
Let me get my thoughts out here. If our defense goes out here and dominates like I think they can, this Sunday against the Bears,
he really want to go out there.
Go out here and shut Justin Fields and his running offense down. And that's what he really wants. Shut their offense down, and our special teams step up big, but our offense is out here still looking mediocre. Only thing I could think about is this, man. Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, they need to go watch that one meme when they say you need to think big. You got to think big, B. You got to think big. Because if you got the defense, you got the special teams, you feel like you could take them anywhere,
FLVE
and we can do our thing. You gotta put your chips in on. You gotta put your chips in on the offense and go get somebody. You know what I mean? So we can get over that hump. Because we always had these teams. We've been having these teams that has been missing something to get us over the hump. Whether that's a veteran player that's been there, done that know what it takes to get there. Somebody that could go in their closet or go in their drawer and go pull out a Super Bowl ring and say, y'all want one of these? This is what you got to do to go get this. That's sometimes you need that to get over the hump. You don't need a wide receiver until you need a wide receiver. Look at the Rams last year. They didn't know they was getting Odell Beckham. They got him. Who got hurt? Woods got hurt. Soon as they got him, Woods got hurt. But that didn't stop nothing because they went and got what they needed, and they kept rolling. And when they got to the Super Bowl, who got hurt? Odell. But they got to the promised land, and it was like, we're going to ride our number one receiver all the way to the end. You know what I mean? And that's what we got to think about, man. You always need depth. The teams that win these Super Bowls is the team with the most depth. The stars step up in big moments. That's what we need. If we need somebody else to help out CD Lamb, that can help out Gallup, let Gallup finish recovering and get better, and we can get the better Michael Gallup at the end of the year, that's what I want to see. I don't want to just sitting on our hands because we trying to hold on to picks and shit. What's the whole point of going for this? You got to go all in, man. If the defense is showing you we ready, the special team showing, man, make the offense show us too, so we can have a whole balanced team and we ain't scared to go to nobody and nowhere and go put our foot in their behind. That's what I want to see, man. That's it. That's all I got.
My man, appreciate you, Reek. Basically, what Reek's saying is, man, go get you a hump player. Yeah, that's what we talk about in the offseason. Yeah, and I think a lot of people get it confused. Or there's some people that put on a cape for the front office on Twitter. Oh my God, it's crazy. A lot of people get confused. Nobody asking for you to go out there and spend $200 million or mortgage the future. But I do firmly believe in a hump player or two is always good. I'm not saying every year because you can't do it every year, but yeah, that's what you're saying, man. Go get you a hump player. Proud of Reek. Came on here, didn't say nothing about LVE, but I know he wanted to. I know you did, man. Let's get to any more super chats. Yep, we got a couple super chats. Let's get to them as we finish this show. Fridays, I don't mind OT. It's the beauty of running your own show. You can do what you want.
Super chat.
Antoine Okafor, the $6 donation. Shout out to the $6 donation. ATP trade for said Wilson and Judy. Let's ride and see what happens. Let's ride. F it. So basically, you saying trade for said and Judy. Oh yeah, now, Twan, you gonna give Stephen Jones a heart attack now? Extract, appreciate you for the
Super
donation.
chat.
$2 says MG was routing up the Lions. Noah fumble play. I think I'm not sure if you were here throughout the show, but that was a great route at the line of scrimmage, and we talked about that, and we talked about it, I believe, on Tuesday. We showed that he wasn't routing up the Lions though, but that was a good play. That was. MG is not. I don't know if you're still here. Extract. I would love to ask you. Do you believe he's not showing any signs of still recovering? I'm going to say the word recovering. Still getting it together. Because, again, everybody sees things differently. I can pull up the play we talked about where it's like, yo, he's hitching. He's trying. He's laboring to get there, man. Yeah. I think he's still trying to figure it out here. Then Joshua Rodriguez.
Super chat.
$5 donation said, I personally love the idea of trading for DJ Moore or Chase Claypool. What do you think they would offer for these trades? I don't think it's going to be cheap to get DJ Moore. I don't care about him and the $20 million. I wish I still had that graphic where I saw, remember we talked about this when Coop got traded. Lots of young players on big contracts, receivers specifically, have been traded for more than a 5th round pick. Much more than a 5th round pick. DJ Moore just signed his deal. He's young. He's like 24 or something like that. Young dude, still really good. And they don't have a need to get rid of him. Like, he's not the type where like, oh, this ain't Kadarius Toney. This ain't my guy. He ain't doing shit. No, DJ Moore is a very good receiver. So if I'm the Panthers, I'm not giving up. If it ain't a day one pick, I'm not giving it up. So I feel like it's going to cost you a lot more to get DJ Moore. Plus, you got the price tag. Who was the other guy you said? Oh, Chase Claypool. I'm just not a big fan. Like, he cool. More talent in the room. I'm not going to sit and act like he wouldn't add to the room, but I don't know. Just not I don't think he's a great route runner. A boxy guy. He would add some more explosion from a get the ball and end arounds, get the ball quick, physical guy, right? But I'm more looking for like that DJ Moore, that Jerry Jeudy type, Brandon Cooks, more refined wide receivers. Nah, I'm not messing it. So what happened was Dallas Cowboys hard hitter. Goddamn. Shaq messed me up earlier when he was like Clay. What did he say? Clay Chase Pool. I was like, wait a minute. There's this TikTok. I don't know if Michelle's still in here. This is TikTok where this dude couldn't say cinnamon, right? And you ever hear something wrong so much, you start questioning, damn, am I saying that right? I was trying to find this TikTok. My man kept saying cinnamon. You know, he was just saying it wrong. It was hilarious. And then I started thinking, wait, how do you say cinnamon? That's what happened to my brain, man. Y'all crazy. All right. I think we good. Hang up these phones. Okay, let's see what y'all talking about here in the chat. Charlie G, I'm kind of feel like that a little bit too. Claypool is Noah. Man, what are we getting out of? Yeah, what is it? Not much of a difference. Man. Chase can be a headache if you're not careful. Slug with the 2 G's said we need a route technician. I agree. Watch it be Claypool. Yo, Jamison Crowder is my wide receiver version of Hankins. Meaning, I've been trying to get Jamison Crowder on this team for years. I like Jamison Crowder a lot. I don't know what he's currently doing, but I think he'd be as a veteran. Check that box. He's a slot guy. Check that box. I like Jamison Crowder. Clutch dude. Knows this division. Sully dropped the deuce.
Super chat.
Said, yes, Sky, we want 4 and 5. Those is ours, partner. 4 and 5. I don't get down with the hope creed, Sully. No, sir. Yeah, so I ain't tripping about the Michael Gallup, right? I see some people saying he's still recovering. Like, we seeing that, right? Like, there was that one time, like Extract talked about, he routed my man up at the line. I say routed up, but it really was a great release at the line of scrimmage. But it looks like at the top of his routes, or in between the stem, is just not as clean as we're used to seeing. Like, if you go pop on the tape, let me see if I got some 2021 Michael Gallup. Let's take a look. I know I got some 2021 Michael Gallup. Hold up. Of course, when I need it, I can't find it. Well, if I feel like it, I'll go find the 2021 Michael Gallup. But if you go look at him from last year, even coming back from the calf injury, you just see he's way more explosive in and out of his routes than he currently is. But maybe he gets that back by the end of the season. I thought I had it. Shaq said, what about Landry? Another guy that I was, on board with bringing in here in the offseason. I don't know what it's going to cost, what he's doing. I know he's been nicked up, though. Give him some time. There's options out there, but I don't know that we're going to get the guy that we want for this. The guy that we want to do what we want that guy to do in this offense. Right? Like, I don't think we're going to get. We want Amari Cooper. We want the guy that's going to do some Amari Cooper things. I don't think it'll be that guy. Maybe it'll be somebody else. So, therefore, we're going to have to lean on being more creative in the play calling spot. Continue to run the ball, take care of the ball. Not impossible to win this way. A little bit harder. And maybe, like I said to the one caller, maybe you're not going to have to get into one of those shootout type of games where you have to throw the ball a bunch, or you get down and got to throw it a bunch, because the schedule doesn't look like that type of schedule to me. But if we're looking long term, if we're trying to win the Super Bowl potentially, you may run into something like that. Maybe we'll see. But all right, good stuff today. What y'all got going on this weekend? Make sure on your way out, before you go do what you got to do this weekend, y'all hit that like button if you enjoyed the show. If you are new here, a lot of new people have come in this week. I appreciate that. And you're just now checking out what the live streams are about, because some people have joined through the Game Day Lives. Hit that sub button, man. Hit that sub button. And if you don't know about our Game Day Lives, that's what we got going on.
I'm in my zone, on the road to the Super Bowl. Every game on the schedule crucial, it take a toll. It don't matter if we at home or on the road. You try to tackle, I'll truck a sucker and take it soul. I'm staring at 4th and goal, gotta find an open hole. A linebacker just close a hole where I'm supposed to go. So now I'm thinking my centers are all pro, so I trust he can make a wall for wherever the ball go. Yeah, there's 5 seconds on the play clock. The crowd was loud, but they stopped. Now it's silent while they watch. They stand off in the red zone. All I see is red home.
Watch me get this touchdown and this W and head home. If you are in the Dallas area this Sunday, it's a 12 o'clock game. I love 12 o'clock games. We will be at the Miller Light Room, Texas Live. Jesse Holly, your boy. And it's always a good time, man. Met a few people. A few fans that tune in. G from Jersey, shout out to you. He came out last week, and he was at the game, but he came back through. My man Juan came through again. So make sure y'all come check us out, man. Please do. So what y'all got going on? My man Professor O said his son has a playoff game. Good luck. Little Felix. I saw Felix out there over the summer. For those who don't know, me and Professor O met up down here in Dallas. His son was at a flag football tournament or camp. Little Felix, he nice, man. He nice. Good luck to you, to little Felix. I'm going to go see Black Adam. Excited. He got Black Adam this weekend, and then Wakanda Forever in a couple weeks. Got those tickets. I ain't playing around with that. I was cool with seeing Black Adam a little later. But I ain't playing about no Wakanda Forever. Ready Red, you gotta send me a list of your lingo, man. It has been a year. I do gotta learn. What you got going on? Sully says Sky be late. Sky be late as shit trying to catch that ending. No seasoning on the ending. I caught that. You ain't think I caught that? I gotta run that back. I definitely caught that. Black Adam review. Twitter. Shaq, you got Twitter? I mean, I'll give y'all the review on Monday for sure. But I'll probably go straight to Twitter when it's over or during it or something like that. King said Black Adam was good. Do not ruin it for me. But the fact that you said it's good, I trust you, King, because some people, reviews can be weird. But I trust you, man. And I ain't gonna lie to you. A little bit skeptical because I like The Rock. But I was like, man, The Rock as a superhero in DC seemed a little corny. But we're gonna see. Happy birthday to L's Step Pop tomorrow. Shout out to L's Step Pop 60. Tell your pops I know how it feels, man. Twitter at Skywalker Still. It should be scrolling right. It'll pop up somewhere real quick before I press this button. Skywalker Still, real easy on Twitter. Holla at me. Toxic's going to a Halloween party already. Well, the funny thing is, Ready Red, we say already in PA. Like if somebody say something like, "Hey dog, you killing it," like already. You know what I mean? Yeah, we say that, So that ain't, that's universal a little bit. Extract. Okay, he came back with a donation. We super overtime.
Super chat.
He says CD cross Dak miss MG work the DB TD there. What? CD cross Dak missed wrong. Okay, I know which one you're talking about. The ball was out when CD Lamb got free. And also, what a weird route for that. CD Lamb gets to the middle of the field and like just basically stops. And then he goes to I think it was Dalton Schultz for the first down, and then I believe they scored a touchdown later in that drive. That's a weird thing. Now, the Michael Gallup one, again, you have to be here. This is why we do film studies. Michael Gallup was not a miss. The Michael Gallup one was, my read is left to right. Left. Noah Brown is wide open. See, this was funny. Wide open. Had he won off of a wide open Noah Brown, came here and missed the throw, y'all would have been bitching. But he didn't. He hit Noah Brown for the 15 yards. He gets to the 5-yard line and he fumbles. Not on Dak. So you can't miss our film studies, man. You can learn some things. Can't miss them. Nah, I ain't handing out no butterscotch. I don't even like handing out candy. I did that one time on Green Street. Never again. Never again. With that said, press this button. Get the heck up out of here, man. Marvel been mid. King Element. Mid. Listen, if it wasn't for Wakanda and Spider-Man, John, they been mid. I got a review for y'all on Twitter and on Monday. I'll holla at y'all. Be out of here. Peace. They come over here. They don't want my snacks. They gonna get pretzels, Milky Ways,